God sees it all. Nothing is hidden. God sees everything that's going on, whether you know it or not. God sees your inner turmoil, your inner hype, your inner narrative, and how we could genuinely progress out of that or not. My other phone died. I did this video, now I'm just doing it again. And it's like I did the video, now I'm doing the video again. And it's obviously not going to come out the same, but the message is still the same. God sees it all. Everything behind the scenes, it's seen. And we're coming to know it in this new age that God does see it all. We were in the dark in the past. Now it's a new age. Aside from the hype of this year, 2024, and so on, we have a chance to genuinely progress out of our inner turmoil, our inner dilemma, our inner chisme, our inner drama. We could go beyond that, but we could just feed that, whatever unique distortion we want to feed within ourselves, within our character, because that's not hidden. This is also beyond AI, because we're analyzing something that AI is depending on spirit for it to actually update itself, So it's like it's beyond like the critical thinking. It's receiving the spiritual intelligence firsthand. So God sees it all. He sees behind the scenes. He sees your facades. He sees what's going on. He sees behind the masks. He sees your agenda. And it's beyond, it's beyond your inner turmoil and your inner dilemma and your inner drama, your inner chisme, because we could stay stuck there. And it's up to us to genuinely progress out of that. And we could only hoodwink and convince other people so much until God's light washes it all away in the future. Who knows when that will be more in masse. But it's coming. It's already has its own snowball effect. It's already in its own accumulation, as it has been since quote unquote respectively 2012. And now it has its own snowball effect since 2012. And we could get caught up in the hype of this year and just trying to, I'm not saying the fast life is good or bad. I'm just saying that's it's a polarity, or the glam life. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying I'm balancing, that life, recognizing that life, and, the casual, parameters, if you will, of that life within a whole undiscovered, unpracticed, forgotten, unrecognized, real spiritual purity practice, respectively. And it's not the purity of just surface level, superficial shit. It's not that shit. So it's God sees it all, God sees all the agendas. Nothing's hidden to God. And we have a chance to connect with God within our own inner practice by us clearing out and cleaning up our own quote unquote distortions, end quote, however we do, because nothing is hidden, especially in these times. But we could convince ourselves that things are hidden. We could fool ourselves, generally, standardly, of how things aren't hidden. We're going to prolong and we're going to go about our ways, our detrimental habits, on us convincing ourselves that things aren't hidden. No, it's a new time. But 2024, there's still a mixture of real clarity and purity, and not clarity and not purity. So we're caught up in that, that casual standard, junk and gunk, but God sees everything, he sees all of the fucking, just all the circumstances, all the agendas, all the narratives, all the masks, all the players within all of those organizations. Nothing is hidden, but we could fool ourselves and seeing how we could pretend that a spirit doesn't see that stuff, and we could go on and we can make spiritual energetic flaws within our own path, us not having a harmonic balance with spirit, and then that kind of being casually evident within the individual's quote unquote esoteric hygienic practice, end quote, or lack thereof. God sees everything. Nothing is hidden. And you're more than welcome to be caught up in your own hype of whatever you're in, you just kind of polarizing yourself to just want to be graspy towards some type of, you know, gain in a toxic way. It's not just that. It's like it's a bigger, deeper balance is the real spiritual life. And most hiddenly, it's like that's the thing that prolongs your spirit. Most ironically, that's the thing that prolongs like the vibrancy and the real good times energy and the real good vibe energy is by you having an individual vibrancy, and that individual vibrancy is coming from the degrees that you're putting towards the esoteric hygienic practice. Nothing is hidden. All of it is seen. God sees that. God sees everything. God sees it all, you know? Nothing is hidden. Thank you. So so this is, I have two phones and I'm just like going on this phone, but like I'm just saying God sees it all, because it's like people like they think they could get away with stuff, but it's not until like, you know, the real like quote unquote universe end quote, it's not, they think they could get away with it until like some different collective force actually checks them, you know? So you can only go so far, you know? So it's like your hood, it's like we could be fooling ourselves like standardly, like we could be hoodwinking ourselves. It's like God sometimes is online and offline, you know? And it's up to us to share the clarity and not confuse other people, because even if you're activated and you're a spiritual professional, you could still be sharing non-clarity and confusion, because the mechanics are subjective to the individual. And that's what that's what these like, you know, these like professional like other people don't necessarily realize, that is the critical thinking. And I'm just saying that for what it is, you know. It's like the karmic path, it's individually subjective to the individual. And that's what a lot of like it's really ironic, because a lot of people aren't saying any of this. There's just a bunch of like, it's just like they're just caught up in the hype life of it, and that's just literally what it is. But God sees everything, you know. And I get how we could be caught up in like, oh yeah, we got this like, we got like, you know, something that could feed us, but we don't know the like, you know, we don't know like the we just don't know how to really balance, have a particular balance for that, you know, to put it lightly. So I'm just saying God sees it all, you know. And like this is probably going to upload on the Libra Lord astrology, and I just it literally is an intuitive astrology, because I could come back anytime and just do a reading in a unique way. And I also did a video that I didn't post about like strategy and authority. So I also did another unique video. And yeah, God sees everything, you know. Because people are fooling themselves to think they could get away with stuff. That's why I'm saying it. And if you're fooling yourself to think you could get away, you're accumulating your own confusion and ignorance, and that confusion and ignorance is pouring over and bleeding into your circumstances, your life scenarios. And like you can only brush that under the rug for so long. That's the critical thinking flag, you know? Thank you.